For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone, talking some Wildcat football here with junior tight end Jamie Walker and head coach Ken Collums, coming off a huge, two syllables, a huge 52-35 win over Central Arkansas Saturday over in Plano. Jamie, that was fun to have a big win and in front of some home folks too, huh?
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. I got to see some family I haven't seen in a while, and they got to see a really good game. Picked a good one to come to.
Boy, they did. And you were part of that offensive unit that was helping welcome in a new starting quarterback, Cade Munden. And just as all of us brilliant geniuses predicted, he threw for 3 touchdowns in his first quarter as a starter. One of those went to you. Give me a sense of what the huddle was like for Cade as a redshirt freshman in his first career start.
I mean, he came in there pretty confident and did what he had to do. There was nothing different about the huddle, really. I mean, we called plays off the sidelines, but when we did have the huddle, he told us what the play was, and he was confident, and he went out there and really showed that he could do the job when we needed him to, and was happy he threw the ball 3 times to the tight end for touchdowns.
Yeah, so that begs this question, or it brings up this question. Who throws a better ball, Cade Munden or DeAndre Brown? You scored on both.
I'm going to have to go with my boy DeAndre.
Okay. Wow. Who runs a better Wildcat? Who runs it out of the wing tee better?
Munden's good at throwing the ball when he has to. I mean, he can do both, and DeAndre had a really good throw too.
Yeah, so DeAndre Brown on the halfback toss dumped it off to you for the touchdown. Did you guys have a sense before the game of what a game like that meant to Coach Collums going up against his alma mater? Did you guys know that? Did you talk about it much?
Well, the thing is every game to us is a big game. Sure. Even though we can't go postseason, we really want to make a name for ourselves. But he did tell us about that this one meant a little bit more just because of who it was, and we all wanted to get that win for him and for us. And before the game, we just kind of had a different vibe, and we went out there and did it for both him and our team.
What can you tell me about this pregame speech I'm hearing about from Angel Lopez?
I mean, no coaches are allowed to know what it was, but
Don't listen.
It really got us pumped up. I mean, we saw what this really meant to the seniors, and what he told us just kind of made us all go out there and play a little bit harder than we had in the past, and it really helped us out a lot.
I'll say it worked. Let's talk to your coach here. Hey, all this guy, Buddy Ryan used to say about Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns. That's about all number 88 does, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
Doesn't matter who's throwing it.
Yeah, and I'm immediately questioning Nathan Young why we don't throw it to him more. And
exactly.
He doesn't have a problem with that. We need to go in lobby to get him the ball more. No, but Jamie he's a really good route runner. When you sometimes when you match a tight end up on a safety, sometimes it's not that good of a matchup. But with Jamie, he's such a fluid route runner. He's got great hands. And,
you've had some good tight ends who could run routes here now.
That's exactly right. But he runs a really good couple of double move routes that are really hard to cover, and he scored twice on the same play this year.
A lot of people are going to look at those numbers from Saturday, and they're going to say, okay, Cade ran it, and he dumped it off to fullback tight end, but there were a few times you asked him to rear back and make a big throw, and one of those was the first touchdown to Jamie, and he zipped it in there right on the numbers.
Oh, yeah. We knew what we were doing with Cade. We did not get outside of our plan with him, and we felt good about exactly what we were asking him to do, and we asked him to make hey, we're not going to throw it a ton, but just make the throws that we ask you to make, manage our run game, and then carry the ball in the run game, which we never ask our quarterback to do that. But that's what Cade brings to the table. Now, nobody knew he was going to run for 100 yards, and some of those runs were really good. I mean, he's running away from some of those defenders, and that's a really good defense that he went out there and executed our game plan, regardless of how far we threw the ball down the field or how many times we threw it. He did a great job and managed our offense.
A lot of people are going to look at that score, 52-35. I think, this is my opinion, I think you guys, your team, offense and defense, made them look not nearly as good as they are. That's a quality football team you beat, isn't it?
Sure. I mean, when you get after their quarterback and pressure him, force him into a couple of interceptions, but then totally take the ball away from a couple of their receivers. Terry Osborne did that twice, and you may see that every now and then. Guy did it twice in one game, and so that just goes to show you our defense's mentality. Their approach to that game was really on point and very, very aggressive. Offensively, I love the way that we ran the ball. I mean, that was cool. We ran it traditionally. We ran it out of the Wildcat offense. We ran it with our quarterback.
Some new stuff too, huh?
That's exactly right. And things lined up to give their defense some issues. They prepared for the 300 yards passing per game offense that we have been up to this point. And guess what? We weren't going to do that this week because we were going to do some different things with our different tools that were in our toolbox that week. So, everything lined up, and it ended up being a really good game for us, obviously. But our guys played well. Our guys played with heavy passion. They were throwing themselves all over the place. It was fun to watch. I felt like a fan, watching my guys play.
You've told us a couple of times, each of the last 2 weeks, in fact, before this week, that you believed that your team was on the right track. Even after the loss to McNeese, even at the loss at Sam Houston State, you said this thing is headed in the right direction. But how much does a win like Saturday validate that belief?
Oh, it's huge. And we all need, as coaches and players and organizations and universities, we all need validation. And I can come in here and say how close we are every single week and bring out the positives and paint the picture of, hey, everybody just hold on because we're going to be there. But you need to win a significant game, and this one was big. I mean, this was a top-tier team in the league, and we went out and played really well against them and beat them from start to finish. Yeah. And you have to have one of those big wins in order to propel you into the next deal, and that's what we plan on doing. And I'm so pleased with this win.
Yeah, that 21-7 start, and then you never looked back. Okay, now the challenge is. We've seen how you've responded to adversity. How do you respond to prosperity? You get another high-quality team coming in to Shotwell Stadium. Northwestern State, they beat Sam Houston State. It's Sam's only loss in the conference so far. And they held a powerful McNeese offense scoreless in the second half last Saturday night. The challenge for them to beat them is what? And specifically, how much of each quarterback will you use this week, Parker McKenzie and Cade Munden?
Well, we've proven how the games end when we play a really good 3.5 quarters. And sometimes we hadn't won those games. But when we play well for 4 quarters from start to finish, we should have a chance to win. We go out and protect the ball like we always do. Outside of the Sam Houston game, we're the best in the business at protecting the ball. Right. I'm still trying to figure out what happened in that game with 4 turnovers, but we'll go protect the ball, and we need to be somewhat efficient in the run game, and we just got to compress running lanes, compress the pocket defensively. If we let that quarterback sit back there, he'll dice us apart. And because he's good, all quarterbacks will do that. But you get somebody in his face, get him to hold that ball a little bit, and then here comes the troops. And regarding our quarterback play, Parker McKenzie will be back. He's fine. He's healthy. So he'll carry the load. We'll do the things that he can do. But the thing is, you cannot discount what happened last Saturday with Cade Munden. And the guy went out and played a really good game and used the tools that he has. And so we got to be crazy not to keep using that some. And so we're going to bring him in, do some different things with him, and we'll probably use DeAndre Brown as a quarterback some. So our offense expanded last week. Yeah. And so when you expand something, you can't keep doing all of it, but you can take bits and pieces of it to make your offense even better.
All right. Did you catch that? DeAndre Brown's going to be the quarterback. That could be good for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
All right, so he caught a touchdown from him last week. Who knows this week? We'll see at least Parker McKenzie, a little bit of Cade Munden, and who knows who else back there at quarterback for ACU. We do know the game will kick off at 2 o'clock against Northwestern State. It's senior day, so you want to make sure you make your way out to Shotwell Stadium. We'll have the pregame show at 1:30 on the ACU Sports Network. For Jamie Walker and for Coach Ken Collums, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.